A White House reporter questions Jean-Pierre on why Joe Biden is not holding pressers. And we have New York City governor completely stunned by her GOP opponent regarding why everybody's leaving New York City. All of that and more here on The Bald Brad Show. Welcome to The Bald Brad Show. It is Friday, October 28th, and as always, I couldn't be happier than to end this week off right, doing The Bald Brad Show and hanging out with all of you, my friends and true American patriots, where we come together as a community of conservatives and Republicans, go over the stories of the day, and bring all the news and information you need to know about. So if you want to join us here at The Bald Brad Show and you haven't done so, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. If you're over at Rumble, hit the plus and give us a comment down below. And if you're listening on any of the podcast airwaves, Apple, Google, Spotify, heck, folks, you can find us and listen to us anywhere and everywhere. Leave us a lovely 5-star review. Not only would you be helping a conservative, but most importantly, you'd be supporting getting conservative thought and ideas out there to new viewers who haven't seen our content or our channel. So help and support would be greatly appreciated. Hit that like button, folks. The YouTube algorithm absolutely loves it, as well as just taking a moment to double check to make sure that bell notification icon's clicked, because 85% of you are not being notified when we upload or go live, which is Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, with Supernatural Saturdays and a sprinkling of politics on Sunday. Be notified by hitting that bell icon. And a little bit of an announcement here before we actually kick off the show. If you've been in the community tab on the Bald Brad channel, then you kind of know what's going on, and it's a little suspicious with the midterms coming up. About a week ago, we uploaded a video that was titled somewhere in the realm of 5-star illegal immigration tent/camp that was posted up in New York City. New York is getting a lot of these immigrants bussed in from Abbott and DeSantis, and they need to house these people. Well, they build these tents, and they're giving them recreational centers, Xboxes, plasma TVs, 24/7 meals. They get a revolving menu, laundry services. I mean, you name it, they're getting it. So we posted that video, and before that video was posted, we were doing really well on the Bald Brad channel. We were seeing anywhere from 60 to like 170 subscribers a day, somewhere in that realm, for quite some time, which we were growing a lot. People were watching our show, people were engaging, we were doing very, very well. Right when I posted that video, you see a vertical decline. If anybody knows anything about statistics and you're analyzing data, when you see anything vertical, your kind of spidey sense should be going off like, that's a little weird, what's going on? We have not rebounded since then. So about a week now, I've been watching the data. We've lost 90% of our viewership ever since that video, just randomly. One of my most popular videos, I have 3 of them, but one of the most popular, has over 1 million views, is a short called This is the Democrat Party, which shows a compilation that I've made of Joe Biden fumbling through his words, fighting with his teleprompter, falling up a flight of stairs, hitting a golf ball backwards, all that stuff. A great GOP kind of video to throw out there of why not to vote for a Democrat, because this is what the Democrat Party looks like. Well over 1 million views. The ratings on it are phenomenal. In the 90 percentile are watching it all the way through. There's no reason not to continue to show that video. And I just find it odd that the midterms are coming up and all of a sudden the Bald Brad channel is getting shellacked by YouTube. Now, could it be just happen chance of, hey, you know what? We're done running the videos. We're not going to send them out to viewers anymore for maybe algorithm reasons? Maybe. But if everything was doing so well, the numbers look amazing, all of a sudden a vertical decline like that, and 90% of my viewers are gone, I get like maybe 50%, 40%. That would make sense somewhat. Almost everybody. I have over 17,000 subscribers, and I don't even get 1%. And that's nothing against you guys. I'm literally hounding YouTube at the time because I find it a little suspicious that literally the midterms are in 2 weeks, and all of a sudden my most popular videos that have 2 of them almost 1 million views, again, the Democrat Party Part 2, and the Democrat Party Part 3, which shellacks the Democrats, all of a sudden it isn't being shown anymore. Over 1 million views and everything. I'm not even a popular channel. I'm not saying I deserve to be up there with everybody else. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the data shows that our subscribership is vertically declined. Our watch time hours has vertically declined. Our videos, our viewership has vertically declined in 90%, meaning we're only getting 10% of the numbers that we just saw a week ago and for months on end. So, folks, I ask of you, please leave a comment, watch the videos all the way through, hit that like button because we are being throttled hard. And my guess is it's because the elections are coming up and they don't want us to continue to hound the Democrat Party. They don't want to continue us to hound Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Lori Lightfoot, whoever it may be out there that we sit there and hound on a weekly basis, hell, a daily basis. They don't want that out there to the viewership. That's my guess. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. And I hope I am wrong because I don't think it's right to silence anybody regardless of political viewpoints. But that is my rant for that. Let's jump into our lead story of the day. Quite of a interesting show because we got video clips here, but it is a short show. It's Friday, folks. Let's have a nice and lovely day here, which might be a little bit hard because you have Karine Jean-Pierre answering questions about Joe Biden not being on that podium. Joe Biden has not done a presser, folks, since January in the White House. Now, I'm just saying in the White House because we have yet to see him on that podium. It's been almost 2 years. Honest to God, I really do mean this. I don't think I've ever seen him on that podium since he's been president. So we're going on 2 years soon. Haven't seen him there. If anybody has, please link me the video of him doing a press conference on that podium answering their questions because I haven't seen it. And I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm giving myself the benefit of the doubt here because we're talking about 2 years worth of press briefings. I've never seen him do it, and I want to be wrong. But even if there is one of him, God, it has to be old. It has to be over a year ago, which is ridiculous because the American public deserves answers and answers that aren't vetted. Him on a note card going, okay, John. Is John here? Yes, John. I have your question. No. Hour 15 up there answering unvetted questions from Peter Ducey, Phil Wegman, Jackie Henrik, and the all, and see what happens. Because boy, oh boy, folks, is it going to be a show? God, we'd have to do that live. The content would be amazing. He would be like Fetterman, but worse. You know what I mean? Good night, everybody. It's like we just started the show, man. I digress. Let's go ahead and continue. Let's watch the clip.
Thanks. I'd like to follow up on something you were asked Monday about presidential press conferences. It's been since January since the president has held a press conference here at the White House. Is this administration at all concerned that the scarcity of press conferences by this president has in any way led to some of the misinformation?
Look at Jackie over there in the pink suit. That's how you know it's a good question because she's like, who the hell? I thought I was the only one asking good questions here. Who is this guy? Because this guy's the only one in there other than Phil Wegman that I've heard of ask a question that's like this. Phil Wegman just about a couple weeks ago, and we did cover it here on the Ball Brad channel, asked, when's he going to do a one-on-one interview? Where's the guy at? Is he hiding from us? And Karine Jean-Pierre laughed it off. Oh, we're not hiding him from you. Where's he been? Where's he at? Why is he not on that podium answering their questions? But it's a good one because Jackie Henrik is looking behind her right now. Let's continue.
That has been out in the public, and can we please get him in here?
I mean, look, I understand the question. You guys have to ask the question about press conferences, duly noted. And so we, again, appreciate the question. But the president took questions. He literally took questions while he was getting a needle in his arm yesterday in getting the new vaccine. So he certainly takes questions from all of you. And he does it often. I understand of having a more, more. Well, I mean, look.
We don't really know where he's at. Okay, he's up there nap time. She doesn't get it. She's pretending like she doesn't. Maybe she actually does get it because I'm sure it has to be frustrating for her because she's the mouthpiece of the leader of the free world that's not willing to go and stand on the podium and answer all their questions. We want to see him right there with that nice White House sign right behind him, answering everybody's questions. We all know why they won't do it. We all know the guy wouldn't last. Like I said, it looked like Fetterman. Good night, everybody. And it's not me hounding Fetterman. I mean, he had a stroke. What's Joe Biden's excuse? We still have yet to have an excuse. Oh, it's a teleprompter. He was sleepy. He didn't get his nap today. He didn't eat his oatmeal or his pudding. I mean, whatever the reason is, we don't know what. The speculation is dementia, but we're still waiting. I'm sorry. It's just so laughable, you guys. It's Friday, but God, the guy is just not all there. And Democrats are pretending like he's fine. They're pretending like the guy's A-okay. Nothing wrong. And then they have the balls to go hound Trump. Oh, because Trump incited the insurrection. Get out of here with that. No, we didn't. But let's continue.
The president is happy to take questions. He does it pretty regularly. I duly noted on the press conference, but again, this is a president who has not shied away from taking questions from all of you, and so I think he'll continue to do that almost every day. He'll continue to make sure that I'm sure on his own will continue to take your questions.
Just let him know we'd love to see him in here someday.
Okay, but again, I'm not going to get ahead of him of where we are with the process. But again, the president takes questions from all of you almost every day.
Can you imagine if Trump went almost 2 years without being on that podium and answering their questions? Oh, but it's duly noted, you guys. It's duly noted. Well, okay, let's duly note it. October 28th. I'm going to put a post-it somewhere in here that just shows when she said that so that we can mark that it was duly noted, of which we'll still never see him in 4 years of his presidency ever stand on that podium. Unbelievable. But, she makes a comment, oh, well, he answers his questions. He's not going to run away from you guys. This is just one clip, a recent one of many of Joe Biden not answering the press's questions. When was this, by the way? When was this clip? Let me look real fast. This was literally 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Supposedly he's answering everyone's questions. He's doing everything he can. Just roll it.
The world at large. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Gee, just answering everyone's questions. It sounded like they had a few of them. Maybe one or two. But no. He answers their questions. He answers questions while he's getting a needle in his arm. This is the White House for you guys, and we're being throttled as a channel here because we show stuff like this. So if you haven't hit that like and subscribe button and left a comment down below, I don't care what you write below. Even if you write a letter, just some engagement so we can at least get the algorithm, the AI portion of it, to get stuff out there, because I have a feeling there's some guy behind the button just throttling our channel left and right here because we know the midterms are coming up. But Joe Biden answers all the questions. He's going to get there out there at some point and do a nice presser with vetted questions, obviously. And when they aren't vetted, it's something simple. Mr. President, what type of ice cream did you get today? Corn Pop got chocolate chip ice cream. I was born on the safari of Africa. Oh, that wasn't your question? Oh, it's just, it's so silly. Mr. President, what color suit are you wearing today? I'm obviously I'm being facetious, not literally. I mean, the ice cream one literally was somebody's question, right? And he struggled. But it's just, Mr. President, did you get your nap today? Wow, that's really tough. If you guys enjoy this type of sarcasm, let me know. I don't know. This is actually really who I am. Sarcastic, poking fun at people. I mean, I know I do it every now and then, but hell, let's jump into our last and second story of the day regarding New York City governor being left stunned when her GOP opponent asks her why everyone is leaving New York. Now, this isn't the only time this has happened regarding states, predominantly blue states, because you look at the state of California. Really, I want to say in the first time in its history, it's losing a seat in Congress because of how many people are leaving California, which is blue. California's blue. Yeah, in Los Angeles, a quarter of the homeless population, just fentanyl overdoses left and right, which is, I believe it's the number one cause of death now between 18 and 34-year-olds is overdose deaths. You have massive homeless, which I mentioned. People can't even freaking pay to be housed anywhere or house themselves anywhere because it's so expensive. You got trash all over the ground. I mean, at one point, literally, there was an app in California, in Southern California, that you could track people's feces on the ground so you didn't step in it. They had a metal detect playgrounds to find syringes and needles from the homeless that were cutting themselves and injecting drugs and doing all this other crazy stuff. So this Democrat-ran state. But, let's watch the clip here of this lady just completely getting shellacked.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is, and I've been asking for months, and my opponent still can't finish this sentence, so you can't expect her to ever fix it, but New York leads the entire nation in population loss because She actually got asked this question by the media a few weeks ago when she was at Binghamton Airport. She probably would love to have a redo because she messed it up that time. For me, you asked me, why does New York lead the entire nation in population loss? Because their wallets, their safety, their freedom, and their quality of their kids' education are under attack. So they're hitting their breaking point. They're looking at other states like the Carolinas, Tennessee, Texas, Florida, and elsewhere, and they feel like their money will go further, they'll feel safer, and they'll live life freer. The state is at a crossroads. We were at a crossroads in 1994 when New York elected George Pataki, and we're at a crossroads right now. But as far as what happens with Kathy Hochul and one-party rule for 4 more years, outsized power of self-described socialists, we need balance and common sense restored to Albany.
We're coming down the...
Damn. I mean, we're going to continue, but damn. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, do it now. Again, if you didn't see the intro to the show in the first segment, we're being throttled here on the Bald Brad Show. YouTube is suppressing our viewership. We dropped 90% in a matter of 12 hours. So hit that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. That's how you do a debate, folks. Just completely shellacking there. I love this guy's whole demeanor and his attitude about everything. Let's continue. Let's see her response if there is one.
Home stretch.
Like I said, sound bites, not sound policy. That's absurd.
We're coming down the home stretch with only a few minutes. I'll ask you to be very brief with this. I want to ask about a downstate economic question, Mr. Zeldin. In normal times, New York collects more gaming revenue than any other state, about $3.7 billion. 2/3 of that is generated by scratch-offs and other lottery games. But right now, the state is moving toward approving up to 3 new casino licenses in the New York City area. Of course, in the years since legalizing multiple forms of gambling, we've seen upstate casinos underperforming. We've seen warnings from the state controller that the hidden costs of gambling addiction are not being addressed. In light of all you know, should New York alter or pause plans to allow for casino gambling in New York City?
Hold on. Why are we asking about gambling in New York? I'm not from New York. I'm from another terrible state called California. Is that really one of the major issues going on in New York? If anybody watches the Bald Brad Show and you're from New York, let me know in the comments below. Is this a major issue? Gambling sites and people's addiction to gambling? I mean, literally, you could just walk the streets, the rising crime, how much everything costs there. They always want to increase the minimum wage to the locality or the state level because it's so expensive to live there, which is just a revolving cycle. People are leaving because it's disgusting. You got trash everywhere. It smells bad. You can't fix your streets. You can't fix your roads. You can't fix the subways. I mean, it seems like a litany of things, very similar to California here. I'm not hounding you from New York because, hell, it ain't great where I'm at, but it ain't my fault. It's the Democrats' fault for voting in these politicians, just like you guys been doing in that state. We need to get some GOP in there to fix things. But hell, folks, I guess it's a major issue. Gambling sites.
Well, the big question is citing, and the answer is possibly. I mean, New York is continuing to add casinos around the state. You're seeing the impacts. For example, you want to talk fairness to Seneca Nation. The local share that gets taken out was based off of outdated times. They've now had all sorts of new casinos that have come in line. Citing is important. Local control is important. There is a process that is underway, and it shouldn't be jammed into areas that do not want it. We have to respect the will of the people.
Mrs. Hochul.
I'm not sure I heard the answer in there. No, we're not going to stop the process. This is an opportunity to recharge downstate communities, and there is a siting process. That's the one part I agree with, and it's underway because I got it moving. We have opportunity to create thousands of jobs. A lot of New York City workers who are in the hospitality field and worked in entertainment and places where they still haven't come back yet because of the pandemic, that we can give them jobs working in these places, as well as generating more revenues for our children to be able to get a good education. Under a plan to cut taxes, which is all you talk about, cut tax, I have to ask, where are you going to get the funding for education, investments in childcare, and paid family leave? So I think you got to have a real solid plan and not just all this rhetoric we're hearing.
Did she just talk about how it's not a good thing to lower taxes? What a great message. As inflation's through the roof, you're paying more at the pump and at the grocery store. Your rent's constantly going up in New York. You got to worry about freaking getting shot or mugged in the streets, stabbed. She wants to increase taxes, it seems like. Oh God, that's always the answer for Democrats. Well, we got to just hand out free money constantly. And the only way to get that is to take it from other people and just pass it out. I mean, that's their answer for everything. And then they can't fathom why everything in New York is so expensive. How about you kind of remove some of the red tape? How about you lower taxes a little bit? You lower the burden on the locale areas so that businesses aren't always feeling the pressure of certain results of you increasing minimum wage, which obviously if you increase minimum wage, you're going to increase rent. If you're going to increase rent, then you're going to increase taxes. And that's how you kind of carve out a place. We've seen that in other places around the United States, which is only going to hurt people and it's going to hurt your state because then you got to keep increasing taxes because you're not getting more revenue because people are leaving. So it's just a vicious cycle. And like the gentleman said at the beginning, she's not going to fix anything. If she was, she would have done it by now. Democrats can never fix anything. And their answer to fixing it is more money. And if you say, well, that's not true, Brad, that's not the case. No, it literally is every time. That's all they want to do is just hand out more money like it's hotcakes. You don't have to look any further than the most recent administration, named the Biden administration, passing out stimulus COVID checks like they're hotcakes, which they should have done, but done it wisely and smartly rather than just giving it to anybody and everybody. You need to just give it to people that actually need it. But what they want to do is redistribute wealth. What they want to do is just give anybody and everybody a check so everyone's okay and equality and everyone's happy, singing kumbaya. They're just ransacking these states. They're ransacking these states, folks. And if you recall in yesterday's episode, which got copyrighted by The View, so we did have an episode 79 podcast of The Bald Brad Show, speaking of being throttled, that didn't get uploaded. But check this out while I'm on my rant. We did a whole podcast, and then every podcast I chop up per each segment that we do, and then I upload it and distribute it throughout the day. There was no copyright claim on those 3 episodes, but somehow there's a copyright claim on the main episode that was made up of those other 3 episodes, or at least segments. How does that happen? How do you get a copyright strike on the main episode, but you don't get a copyright strike on the very segment that's in the main episode? Go figure. But we debunked The View because The View pushed, speaking of The View, Whoopi Goldberg to be specific, of how red states supposedly had higher homicides and higher murder rates. But what they did was lie about it. There is truth. It is red states, but it was the blue areas, the Democrat-ran areas in those red states that had massive increase in homicides and murder rates because they don't know how to govern their local levels, their local state areas. Hell, they don't even know how to govern a state, let alone a country, which you see from the Biden administration. But they're going to constantly blame Republicans for everything. We see this from jean-pierre. We see this from Joe Biden. We see this from other politicians across the state, that everything is Republicans' fault. But it can't be, because Republicans don't control the government. They don't control Congress right now. The Democrats do, and have done for the last 2 years. And they've completely taken a shellacking on this country because of the policies and the things they want to put in place. You can't blame Republicans. They don't need Republicans to pass things through. They just need themselves, and they can't do it. But they need a bad guy. If it ain't going to be Putin and it ain't going to be Xi Jinping over there in another country, then hell, it's going to be ultimately the Republicans, because somehow we're the racist, sexist, bigot, homophobes, the insurrectionists, the MAGA Republicans, the ultra MAGA, the extremists, those that are a threat to democracy, hell, whatever you want to call us, somehow we're the ones to blame. It's never the Democrats. It's never Joe Biden. It's never anybody in that freaking administration. It's always our fault, folks. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. As always, again, we are being throttled by YouTube, folks. The midterms are coming up. We shouldn't be surprised that they're doing this. They will not silence us. They will not stop us from getting the message out that vote red. The red wave is coming, folks, but we need to make sure that we get out to the polls. Don't be lazy. Don't just think that we got this in the bag. We need to show up, and we need to show up big time. As always, hit that like and subscribe button. And folks, I'll see you tomorrow here on The Bald Brad Show.